everybody, welcome back to Vegas Tips and Tricks for a Saturday, December 21st, 2019. Happy holidays. Today, our stories have a budget theme. But before we get started, a few housekeeping notes. Okay, so the big news, I guess, we're basically 24 days out from Las Vegas. Be spending 5 nights there from January 14th. And then coming back January 19th. So we'll be staying downtown for a couple of nights. Got a comp at the Cal, which I really enjoyed when I stayed there earlier this year. And I'm also going to be spending one night at the Hotel Apache in Binions because I really wanted to check it out and I wanted to show you because I have not seen a lot of room reviews on that on the YouTube. So something to look forward there. Gonna hit up all of my favorites down there and maybe find some new favorites. Definitely gonna be checking out the Whiskey Liquor Up bar at Binions. Actually gonna have a little meetup there, so if anybody's interested in coming by, I think we planned it for like 8 o'clock that evening. So I'll be there and a couple other people from the Facebook group at least. So we'd welcome you to join us. The next night, I'm actually going to move over to the Rio for one night. I haven't stayed at the Rio for over 6 years. It's the only Caesars property, and it's not the Caesars property for much longer, that I hadn't stayed at comped over the past few years as I've been a Diamond member in Total Rewards / Caesars Rewards. So I figured it was an opportunity to check it out before anything changes around there and show you the condition of the place. It's still an inexpensive place to stay, really. And the most recent reviews, I mean, it's kind of run down, but it's still a pretty clean place. And you've got the Palms and Gold Coast next door. I'll probably spend some time on the Strip that night anyway. And then moving over to Wynn for 2 nights, thanks once again to the Wynn Slots app. Absolutely free, no resort fees. I did actually spend some money to be eligible to book a room. I think it was $59.99 so I could get to the right level. But if you look at the price of a room at Wynn on Friday and Saturday night, that's nothing. So looking forward to that. I enjoyed staying there on the last trip. And so we'll explore a little bit more of the north end of the Strip. Also, we do have some programming coming up the next 3 Wednesdays for you. We've been kind of dark on Wednesdays most of the time. On Christmas Day, I'm not going to live stream. You think I'm crazy? No, I am crazy, but I'm not doing that. But I'm going to do kind of a retrospective on my trips to Vegas this past year, pull some footage from all 3 vlogs, kind of tape it together with some edits and some music and just a little Christmas present and a preview of maybe some of the things that I might revisit this coming year. On New Year's Day, we might do this as a live stream. I haven't decided yet, but I'm going to do a Vegas favorites show based on the results of a number of polls we've been doing in the Facebook group over the last several months. Going to talk about what our sort of member choices were and maybe give some of my thoughts as well on those categories. I didn't vote actually in most of the polls, so it'll be a surprise when I tell you what my choice is from that list which people voted on. So that should be fun. And then on the 8th of January, we will do a live stream. And that will be a Vegas 44 vlog preview. Talk about the trip. If anybody has any questions, comments, thoughts on what to do or what I shouldn't do while I'm in Las Vegas, please feel free to drop by that night. I haven't decided on an exact time yet, but we will definitely be doing a live stream for all of you. And then we'll be into the vlog the following week. I don't know if we'll do a show that Saturday. I'm going to be traveling that day. I might put something together the night before. But if not, you'll be getting a daily vlog. I promised several months back if I hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, which we did, I was going to go ahead and live vlog the trip. It's not like I need months and months of video editing like the Spielbergs of the vlog world. So I'm going to take a couple hours every morning, put that together, get that uploaded so you'll see what I did the day before every day through the trip. Won't be able to do it the last day because I leave very early, but so you will have a live vlog coming up the next week. And of course you want to follow me on Twitter for all my nonsense, Instagram, Both accounts should be very active during that trip. No major plans for shows or activities. I'm going to kind of wing it. I'll probably think of some things over the next couple of weeks that I want to do, but looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. Definitely, like I said, once I'm at the Wynn, probably going to wander up and check out Circus Circus one more time before the changes start there. And speaking of Circus Circus, it's time for the news. Okay, so the big news this week, and it actually is news. It's more news than what we've done the last couple of weeks, and that is the finalization of the sale of Circus Circus from MGM to Phil Ruffin, the current owner of Treasure Island / TI, the former owner years ago of the New Frontier, a business partner. Was not aware of this, of Donald Trump. So, do with that what you will. But he's planning on making some changes to the property, so I thought I would review some of those planned changes. He picked this up for a cool $825 million, just in case you wondered what it would take to wrest Circus Circus from MGM. That's what it was. It does not simply include the rather large Circus Circus property and the lot, which includes an RV park and, of course, the Adventure Dome and the Manor Motel out back. But also a 37-acre lot at the corner of Sahara and Las Vegas Boulevard. It's that empty lot. It's not where the gift store is or the dispensary or Sahara. It is the empty lot. It has been used for music festivals on a couple of occasions, but apparently MGM wanted to unload it. Could be a desirable location if we continue to see development on the north end of the Strip over the next couple of years. Would not be surprised to see Ruffin to flip this piece of land and make money. He is a pretty shrewd businessman. I think he did all right with Treasure Island. I wasn't thrilled with the pirate show being replaced with a Starbucks and a CVS, but you know, that might be an improvement at Circus Circus. And Circus Circus could certainly use some improvements. I know there's people that love it there. I don't mind going in there, but it just feels kind of icky. Apparently Slots of Fun is Ruffin's first priority, and it's also apparently it's been shuttered, which I assume means closed and not shuttered as in scary. It's been shuttered for a long time, but is closed apparently. So they're going to remodel that. I was kind of hoping maybe they'd turn it into, you know, bring the old inexpensive table games up front, have a snack bar with cheap hot dogs and beer and pizza. Maybe bring in a bunch of the old penny slot machines from about 10 years ago. We could have a Texas tea run. I'm sure they probably have those machines inside Circus Circus. So that's my plans, but we don't know what Ruffin's plans are yet. And eventually he's going to remodel inside the casino. Please tear out the carpets. Please get rid of the Cheetos smell in the air. Not planning to take out the steakhouse. Not planning to do anything with the amusement park. In fact, he is planning to continue to appeal to families with children and budget travelers. And several of the changes that he intends to make would certainly indicate that. The biggest of which is to put in a wave pool, a la Mandalay Bay. That's his quote, not mine. By the way, most of the story comes from the Las Vegas Review-Journal over the past couple of weeks. They've done a number of stories on that. Always a great resource if you want to check out Vegas news. And so he speaks of building a massive sort of water park with all of your sandy beaches and your wave pools and your lazy rivers, and that, you know, that could be very appealing to families. The place already appeals to kids, but I think that is a very good idea, and so we hope that that comes to pass. I believe that would be out in the back of the property, replacing the old RV park, and hopefully they'll do away with the manor rooms. My choice for worst hotel rooms anywhere near the Strip. So, some improvements coming there. And here's an interesting one. Apparently there is a New York-based, currently, Cirque du Soleil show called The Illusionist, which Ruffin is intending to bring to Circus Circus. Now, that's not completely ridiculous. He has a relationship with Cirque. Mystère has been playing at Treasure Island for over a quarter of a century, I believe, now. And Ruffin's owned that for the last decade or so. But planning to build a 2,000-seat theater. I'm thinking maybe somewhere in front of the property, but I'm not really sure. I don't think that was outlined. and that would house this Cirque show. Now the Cirque people do not seem willing to make that commitment yet, so we'll see if that comes to pass. But it certainly would be interesting, and would certainly be another reason people might actually want to come down and check out Circus Circus. So I wish him the best of luck. Are you a fan of Circus Circus? Are you a fan of Phil Ruffin? Have any thoughts on the remodel? Like I said, definitely needs it. I think the sale of Circus Circus as well as the sale of Rio are going to be positives, because at least you're going to have an owner who's interested in the property. For Caesars and for MGM, those properties have kind of been their Jon Snow, okay? The Game of Thrones universe, sort of the bastard stepchild that they barely acknowledged. So I think it'll be good. It's a good location with Resorts World coming online here in the next year and a half, with the convention center expansion coming out towards where the Riviera was. So we wish him the best of luck. I hope it turns out well, and I'll certainly be keeping you abreast of any new information. Circus Circus, of course, is a great budget property, and this week we've got a great budget tip or trick. This week's budget tip or trick comes from the master of budget trips to Las Vegas, Mark Anderson, Pennies for Vegas, one of the fastest growing YouTube channels out there. If you're not subscribed, go check him out. He's constantly telling you ways to save money. And he found one I had not heard of at all this week that I wanted to share with you. And this is one of those with an expiration date that is uncertain. And so it may only apply if you're heading to Vegas in the next couple of months. Hopefully it will run through the hockey season, because it's related to the Vegas Golden Knights. You remember the Oyo Hotel? Well, maybe you don't. It used to be Hooters, but now it's called Oyo. And they haven't made a lot of changes yet inside the property, except for little name changes. But they have an amazing deal if you want to have a few beers with your buddies, or maybe just want to have a few beers yourself. Immediately before, I think a couple hours before every Vegas Golden Knights game, and for an hour or two after every Vegas Golden Knights game, you can get $5 buckets of 5 beers. And I believe Mark has verified that that includes Budweiser, the official cheap beer, Vegas Tips and Tricks of Matt Bridger, of Mark Anderson. So that's not bad. I'm sure you can probably get Bud Light, and there's probably a number of other selections. So $1 a beer, and you could, be doing that for 4 or 5 hours. I mean, even with a good tip, I mean, that's a night out for nothing. So you don't have to worry about, how many times you hit the video poker machine, or whether the waitress is going to come around. You don't have to worry about spending $8 for a beer at the bar. What a deal! So if you're going to, certainly if you're in the South Strip and they're doing, the Knights are playing, I'd sure check it out. I don't know if it will be on the next trip, but that's a great deal. So thanks to Mark for finding that one. And of course, Mark will now be interested? He may be interested. He will be entered to win a fabulous prize to be announced. Okay, so this week's this week's casino property is also a budget property. That's next. This week's property we're going to talk about is the Golden Gate. The Golden Gate in some form has been a hotel since 1906. If you get into some of the older rooms, you can tell. They're pretty small. They're very small. But you know what? They're clean. They're comfortable enough. If you just need a place to crash for the night and you don't have a lot of money, they're a good choice. Some of them lean right over onto Fremont Street or Main Street, so they can be a little noisy. The ones out back have a great view of the air conditioning ducts in the parking lot. But hey, for the price, you can't beat it. And the Golden Gate is not a dive by any means. They have made a lot of improvements, certainly over the last decade, under the ownership of Derek Stevens, of course, the guy who also owns the D and will be is the person putting together Circa across the street. It's a nice property. They've expanded. There used to be a Dupar's restaurant, may it rest in peace, and they've expanded the casino into that space. And I believe the sort of coin, it wasn't the coin castle, it was once. Mermaids, I think, was right next door. They purchased that property and gutted that and expanded the casino to the east on Fremont as well. So I'd say probably it's almost double the casino space. It's a very clean, comfortable place to play. The bar is one of my favorite places to hang out, play a little video poker and keno. They're very quick with the drink comps, and there's usually a lot of eye candy. We have the dancing girls behind the blackjacks tables, so it's a nice place to spend a few hours, watch the games, have a few drinks, play a little bit. Apparently the blackjack there is pretty good. Our friends Hog and 2 Cents swear by playing blackjack at the Golden Gate, calling it their bank. So there must be some pretty good rules or they wouldn't touch the place with a 10-foot pole. So I haven't had a lot of luck there, but again, it's a nice casino, small. One bad thing about the property, there's no place to eat. And right now it's a little isolated, unless you want to walk down to the ABC store for some snacks, which it's not a bad choice. But the only hotel that's like really close by is the Plaza, which is right across the street. So there's plenty of food options there. Another nice big casino if you want to change a venue. But once Circus opened across the street here in a year or so, the location gets a lot better. And of course you're on Fremont Street, so you're not really that far from anything. Golden Nugget, Binion's, and then you're right down in the mix as well. So I stayed here a couple of times. Now the first time I stayed here, I stayed in one of their suites, which are really just big hotel rooms, but very, very nice. Frequently you can pick these rooms up for under $100, and I think it's a Vegas tip or trick right there. Not a lot of people seem to know about these rooms, but if you can get one, they're typically quiet. Again, not a great view, but a nice big place, little living room area, bedroom area, kind of an interesting sort of bath. It's kind of a weird bathroom setup. Maybe not the best for two people that don't love each other, sometimes at least. But really, really nice room. Great. I love the design of the place. There's kind of a Vegas/Hollywood theme to it. So definitely check that out if you can get that for a good price. One of the better room values in Las Vegas. So, and it's fun. It's a fun place to hang out, and of course you're on Fremont Street. So that's, while it's going to provide some noise for you, it's also going to provide a lot of excitement right out the front door. There you go. That's our casino hotel of the week, and that's going to wrap up our show for the week. Thanks to all of you who have subscribed, all of you who have been liking and commenting on the channel. Please continue to do so. Until next time, I hope that you have a great and lucky week and a very Merry Christmas, and we will see you soon.